What's good, YouTube? And welcome to me sitting in the upright position. I've graduated from cast to boot, so it's way more protected, but it'll still be 2 weeks before I'm walking with a walker. Old man John problems. But let's get to the card, starting with one of the oldest ones, just like this YouTuber, Blue Eyes White Dragon. Now, I want to really emphasize, just 10 years ago, 2016, right before Blue Eyes became meta, a first edition Blue Eyes would sell for $65. The amount of surging Yu-Gi-Oh! Has done is ridiculous, but unlimited Blue Eyes, this can include the legendary collection ones. The ones that you pack out of those fresher LOB packs, not the 25th anniversary edition, but those 2012, 14, however many prints there were of that, Ruxin probably knows. This is now lowest for a near mint, $218 right now as of recording, and it has multiple sales in the range. Imagine you order that and you get in one of those newer looking Blue Eyes. Oh my goodness. I think this is kind of the low gang effect, the Charizard of Yu-Gi-Oh! That's what they're after, and you can argue this is the Charizard of Yu-Gi-Oh! I've said before it was Dark Magician Girl, but when outsiders come in, this is what's pointed to, even though both go back and forth towards the top of the TCG collections. It's a dragon, it's got the long neck, it's easy to compare, and people tend to go for it, and I don't blame them on that, but I do blame them on this specific one. Absolutely ridiculous in my opinion. Now, what isn't as ridiculous are the 10s. These early 10s, the cards ended up inside of the 10s, held for years, banged around, so many got damaged. It's so hard to get a near mint, very nice, cool looking copy of these at this point. And during the COVID stimmy check era, these surged. They fell back out during, I want to say all the way to like maybe even 45 to 60 ranges. And now they're way, way, way back up, 125. And they have been going and getting targeted as people have been going super hyped on Yu-Gi-Oh! Once again, we've seen multiple sales at 100, around 100, even a light play there sold for 100, as you might have seen. And they've been selling for a good bit here at 125 to 110 once again. They have been stonking for a bit. Dark Armed Dragon. Wow. This one is a throwback, lowest to 420 Blaze It for a first edition here. And it actually sold out within multiple different ranges, but you can see first edition 250, 220 here. So it's not just the, outsider point at big anime names going, it's past format utility, icons from the past. It's a lot of people swirling back to Yu-Gi-Oh! And buying what they care about while also buying what they're speculating on. Dark Armed Dragon, other nice versions like the Ultimate Rare are also up, and this really shows how old school first edition can stick the landing, because Ghost Rare was printed and Quarter Century Secret Rare was printed, and you have an easier access Secret Rare that is nice. This is a huge conversation that's been a part of Yu-Gi-Oh! For a while. Can a first edition really hold? Can it have a lot of value? And this is now towards its old metagame price once again. Tier 0 has their pre-sales refreshed. You should be able to get a lot of the cards, but this is a conversation I was having during the last one on prices and how they are. They sold out of the Starlight Mirror Jade, and so did Gamer's Choice. People were talking about what would sell out, how would it go? Well, Gamer's Choice sold out of Dragoon as well. I do think Dragoon is more of a honey trap because it has so many competing versions, whereas Mirror Jade, the other version, was so much money. It was just crazy for its highest rarity, and this one looks so good. People are posting it in the Facebook groups. Everybody's creaming. They're going, oh my goodness, oh my gosh. Now this Blue Eyes and Dark Magician Girl, this back and forth, I still think that it's a bit much personally, but it is the first thing I thought to look up on how vendors were pricing, and being a Starlight Rare within the set is going to be harder to get. We see here, though, that Tier 0 sold out of all of the major ones here. They're all email me when available, and the only two left are the Zark and the Firewall and the Utopia. Only 3. I can math. But seriously, it's interesting. I've heard that vendors are basically on this set getting charged almost double a regular set at the level of where they have to spend to get their boxes in. So boxes of this seem to be selling for quite an expensive range, and boxes are selling. I'm being told that it is flying and people are going for it. A lot of people felt disappointed in the set because it didn't have any of the new cards, it didn't have serialized / Grandmaster Rare, and it is a weaker introduction to the Rarity than the OCG. But I still think what a lot of those commentators are missing is that a new Rarity being introduced into the TCG is almost always successful when it is an impactful one and it's not just some alternate art chibis. Like, I don't consider chibis a different Rarity, but my point is, whenever it's a brand new Rarity, like how Collector Rare came into in Chaos, we see a really big wave towards them. And if the pull rates hold true for EU to be similar to the US, from what we saw from those 5 cases I covered in the last video, some of these are going to command an absurd premium if Yu-Gi-Oh! Mania continues like it is and people keep buying in. Now, Tier 0 similarly priced their Blue Eyes White Dragon. Their Dark Magician Girl is a bit cheaper. I still like this more. It says okay, it has an English lettering. It looks actually a lot better than I thought it would. I think Dark Magician Girl will overtake Blue Eyes in this collection at first. But again, all the crypto bros and low gang, they're targeting Blue Eyes, so we'll see. I also think that these extended arts are interesting because they're a little under every other box actually from what we're seeing on the EU polls, but again from the creator polls it seemed like there were a bit more of them, so we'll have to wait and see for US poll ratios as well. Red Eye's Dark Dragoon here is the next one in line, along with Dominus Purge. I think Dominus Purge looks the best comparatively. Like, Mirror Jade's up there. Maybe it's Mirror Jade, but I think Dominus Purge looks so good in this Rarity and Mirror Jade compared to everything else. In Ultra Rare, I don't really like Red Eye's Dark Dragoon's wings, but aesthetics versus Rarity don't always matter, as we've covered and we'll cover again today in Maze. So sometimes it just doesn't matter. People get hyped over it, and we'll see how that goes versus other high rarities and having the ultra rare version. Primite Dragon, Ether, Barrel, and Starlight is actually pretty darn cool in my opinion. The Kurikara also looks pretty darn good, I think, actually. And we come through Chaos Angel being one of the more demanded cards, makes sense. The Shooting Quasar actually sold out as well at Gamer's Choice, and that was one that I thought might be underpriced for quote-unquote synchro slop on the Starlight rares, and I do think it actually really goes with the card. The Egyptian God cards, it makes sense to price them up a bit. Excuse me, echoing into the can. And then I still feel like a lot of these won't translate well with the kanji. A lot of people are comparing them to the cringe chibis. I think they'll do a bit better than the chibis, but at the same time, it's the same problem as you don't have mainstream OCG collectors in the TCG. It's a spread out community. It's here and there. Oh, I got a card I like. I have a full-blown OCG collection. I have a huge one. But it's really uncommon comparatively to have it imported over here. And I just don't think that it's going to be as considered unless we get like Pokemon level hypes, which we're bubbling a little bit towards, but we're not quite close to there. We're not going to have people lining up at shops for releases yet or anything crazy. Man, look how low these ones are, though. That's kind of that's kind of wild. Now, Starlight Rare Trap does shoot at 27, and again at tier 0 you can use code What'sGood5 for 5% off and to support the channel directly. I was getting so engrossed that I forgot to do my own sellout there. I think that's pretty good. I think it's actually really good, and that's the problem though, is like we already have that QCR, now it's getting starlighted. We're still going to experience that, and now with new Starlights, we're going to get full art Starlights. So full art's going to, I think, be the definitive highest rarity for now. And people are pointing out that cycle and why Yu-Gi-Oh! Is still such a bad trap and all that. Don't disagree. Konami needs to find a way. and Grandmaster Rare to some degree is it, where a card can't be trumped in a rarity, right? Now, there were some Starlight Rare only cards, like Trihorn Dragon, I believe, is one of them. Makes a lot of sense. And a lot of the singles in the stamped area are what are doing the best. So you might see prices do a little bit better there, just thanks to that. But that's how pre-sales kind of stacked up on the higher end. You can look through the lower end yourself. I have a ton to get through this market watch. It's not just pre-sales. Necroquip Princess, $680. It actually sold out through the triple digits, though, for the final one, Euro print, and multiple here, 80, 90. So it is gone. This is always the one I point as one of the ideal, high rarities. Started as a common. This Starlight's doing very well for itself. Dark Magician of Destruction is up further. Kind of surprising on the American market because we got more secret rares in our boxes, but it is going up once again. It had managed to fall all the way down towards the low 50s and is now back up towards 70 lowest. Also, the Gaze of Timaeus went back up. Secrets of Dark Magic is really hanging up for an ultra rare price, and you can see this basically went to where the collector rare price was, and the collector rare ended up going up. I still think the US collector rares are so ugly. Call of the Hunted's chilled out just a bit, and I think the fact that we have a Starlight of this already in Rarity Collection really kind of craps on this one, and that Starlight rare might just slide in at this price or a bit higher, somewhere around there. Called by the Grave, and also I think it already has a quarter-century secret rare. All the rarity problems. Called by the Grave altar art has really risen. $140 lowest. We are hitting so many triple down buyouts of what I've covered in the last 3 weeks. It is crazy where Yu-Gi-Oh! Is headed price-wise right now. Elemental Hero Shadow Mist is doing very well for itself, and that's because it only has 2 printings between 2 structure decks, so it is going back up as people are revisiting heroes. Ice Ryzeal doing very well at this point. It was down way past this at one point, and you can see every single version is starting to surge as people look back to Ryzeals a bit. Centurion is also getting looked up. I believe one of those got printed in Rarity Collection that was important, but Emblema Oath got overlooked and is surging up over here. Herald of the Mirage Lights, I believe, is for Dark Lords. It continues to go up slowly. It's $1.50. This is one I called out a while ago, and now it's towards a triple up almost. Number 21, Frozen Lady Justice, MBT. You're really making me cover this. I've actually had this appear before. He tried to do a Kabuto King style kind of thing as a joke, as I understand it, but look at this, $3 and then $7. I think it was bought out to the point of $20 at some point, so that's kind of ridiculous when it was $1. But again, number hunting, only has 1 printing. It's actually not the worst target in the world because of that, unfortunately. But yeah, they went in on it. Colute the Moon Shadow quarter-century secret rare. Modern Max, quote-unquote, can still do it here and there, so this one's getting targeted and it's gone up. But Old School goes the opposite way with Rescue Cat. Now, people are looking this up also for X-Saber, both past format and maybe modern, but I would imagine past. $108 lowest for the super rare out of Turbo Pack 3. For some reason, I always put this as ultra in my head, but it sold out all the way up to $50 freaking dollars. So be aware of that. While the quarter-century secret rare goes the opposite direction of Colute, poor Rarity 2, and is around $3. It's just crazy to me how Rarity 2, it's still the same Rarity. Come on! Why are you like this? It's just so funny how it goes. It's like, it comes from that set. Even though it's the same shine, the same everything. Miracle Fusion, and that says something about estimated value pulled, is up towards almost $300 for its first edition lowest, and sold one here at $281 as well, and $280 here. So this has been surging a bit. I think the unlinearments are all gone. But check this out. Also, same thing. It's Starlight Rares from a 10, so it's super affordable if you want a nice copy, and that goes for less than the secret rare from Speed Duels. Skill Drain is getting targeted. I believe this is limited to 1 in the TCG. The ultimate rares are now going, your 20% foil on the card, super ugly. After the ultra rares actually got bought out first, and then people asked, why didn't you all buy the ultimate rares? And the ultimate rares went after people pointed that out. Oh my goodness. Just, we're getting into stupid market territory. It's been a while, but like, we are getting into those weird reactionary buys. Now, also out of Rarity 2, you have yourself a QCR. Doomsy is, I believe, mainly for Genesis, but people are flirting with it for main with new support and all that. But I would think Genesis, it is getting bought out here. Starlight Rares and Starlight Rares going crazy there. 250 is not going to stick, but $50 as well. You're seeing a lot of these prices bubble back up. Once again, we've seen these bought out before. Thanks for watching today's Yu-Gi-Oh! Market Watch. Hopefully you all enjoyed it. I tried to keep it not just pre-sales 2 in a row. We've got a bit of the classics and craziness and everything going different directions in our market. It's wild times. This is kind of as crazy as our Stemmy check bubble, if I'm honest, if not crazier at this point. Grandmaster Rare can't be understated. I think Frame Break can't be understated, and we'll really see where this ends up going for Yu-Gi-Oh! But I think for the hype to stick the landing, we need Grandmaster Rare here in the TCG. Jeff Jones has predicted a summer product before the WCQ. I've predicted a holiday product, but I like Jeff's idea a lot more. We'll see where Yu-Gi-Oh! Goes, baby.